Hello, this is Richie from the Metal Cell Forums. I'm delighted to welcome Evan, Danielle, and Joe. How the hell are you?
Good.
All good.
And this beautiful summer's evening. Isn't that nice to say?
And Richie, first order of business. Congratulations, man, on Metal Cell winning the award. You deserve it.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
True credit.
Congratulations.
Cheers. It's right here.
Whoa. Nice.
And thank you, lads. Jesus, it's a team effort. Simple as that.
It's not really.
You, like,
we literally just turned up and acted like...
drink cans, like...
You're the Hannibal of the whole team here.
Yeah. You're our David Koresh.
Is that fucking good or bad? Who the fuck is David
Is that
Koresh?
good or bad?
Yeah. Look, he got a following, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
And,
okay. A cult leader. Fucking hell. Great. Speaking of cults, that fucking Celebrity Love Island is on. Is it Love Island or Celebrity Love Island? Love Island?
I don't know the difference.
I have no fucking clue.
Jesus Christ, they're all
The
watching
most
it
I
down
know
below.
about is fucking memes. I've seen hundreds of memes about it, like, but
Love Island.
We should have a Love Island update on our forum. So
yeah.
Can we do a
This
metal
week on Love
Island?
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
We pair up all these metalers from all over the world.
Yeah,
And
RTE be
throw them
all
out to
over that
Achill
shit.
Island
Like,
or Shirkin.
Yeah, I was going to say to the Iron
Freeze
Island.
the fucking dead.
there is like a heavy metal like Tinder thing.
I see the
Yeah.
dating thing that the
No.
ads come
There
up.
is.
Yeah,
It
I see
used
the
to come up
ads.
for me when I was single. I don't know how it knows that I'm not single anymore, but I was like, it used to
I
prey
don't
on
know
my
if it's still
loneliness.
there. Yeah, I don't know if it's still there.
No
I
way.
haven't seen them in
Yeah.
fucking ages. Like, there was actually a dating thing. I was like scrolling through my feed on Facebook, and like I just got to this random like profile that was like a dating profile of me, and I fucking freaked and I jumped. I was like, what the fuck? But I realized it was like an ad on Facebook that now Facebook have a dating thing, and it was showing me what my profile would look like. And I was sitting here like sweating, being like, oh fuck. Someone's after
We're doing the
someone up.
mushrooms again. Fuck
Yeah,
that.
not again. I probably was on him, like, who knows? The way all of his strength there.
Yeah,
being like,
and I'm just
yeah,
here like, hi guys.
he probably was.
Evan having relations with another Evan? Like, would that be like...
Evancest.
Oh, yeah. Fucking hell. Can't love yourself, like.
Self-love is the greatest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, look, first of all, we were supposed to be going up to the Metal to the Masses final. We've only found out yesterday that it's off. There's no official announcement, but by the time this episode is out,
There
it will be known that it's gone. And it's a shame because that was definitely one that we were looking forward to, man. The lineup was second to none, really.
Oh, stop. Yeah, absolutely. Like,
But we will be in Voodoo, Ev, on the
Yeah,
Saturday.
we fucking will. I'm going to bring me wooden spoon as
Are you
well.
bringing-
Fuck yeah, I'm bringing my spoon.
What's the spoon for? Oh, right, okay.
You got awarded the wooden spoon, man.
Haint sent me a wooden spoon. So I'll be slapping all boldies. There's no social distancing. I like the wooden spoon now.
Oh, that was, you know what? That was the Wayne and James podcast. Yeah, we gave Haint, you gave Haint a shout out, I think.
Yeah, just because I was like, anyone that has a wooden spoon as merch is the fucking coolest thing ever. And then the lads in Haint found me on Instagram and messaged me and were like, what's your address? I was like,
that's so cool.
Unreal, like.
And you got freebies from Molar Bear as well.
Yeah, I got Molar Bear stuff as well. It's actually my favourite t-shirt now.
It's nice. Yeah. Shout out to Andy and the lads.
Absolutely savage band too. Yeah, really, really good band.
And Danielle's wearing her Elder Druid.
Yep. Represent.
What did
Joe,
you think
you look gorgeous. Like,
what did you think of Kelvin's artwork for the new album, lads?
Fuck me, it was outstanding,
unreal.
wasn't it?
Unreal.
I bought the
like.
print. I bought the print off him.
Oh, he knocked it out of the park.
It will be
always
framed
does.
and put up in the studio.
Nice.
Yeah, he always does. Like, it's a fucking
I think he did this t-shirt as well, actually, that one.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
it
yeah,
was, yeah. Is that with the archer? Is that arrows? Is it?
Yeah, with the archer and the harp and everything.
I have it, yeah.
Class.
Of course I fucking
Shot
have
to
it.
the heart.
Yeah, but it's unreal, and like it's not. He changes it up as well. It's not like his usual style, which is.
It's not actually.
Average.
Yes, you're spot on. You're spot on.
Fair play to him.
And I got my suits there, merch from India, which was stressing me out.
That's the coffin box and everything, isn't it?
I didn't go for the coffin box. I went for the long sleeve and the CD. But it was just weird that the band didn't have control over the merch. It was the record label.
Yeah, I think a lot of them would do that, alright.
You know, as you know, Joe, with record labels, they're ultimately the ones in control. But, you know, because you're so used to dealing with bands that aren't on a label, you think that they be controlling the merch. Yeah. And suddenly I went, you're not, you don't know where it is. And yeah, it was a bit weird, but I contacted them and yeah, they sent it on. So I was delighted with that.
You got it anyway. It's the main fucking thing.
And have you knew, Joe, there's not a month or 2 months go by when there's a hint of a Gamma Bomb t-shirt coming out again.
Yeah.
I know, we've like kind of done t-shirts to death. It's like, you know,
is Philly doing them, is?
Yeah, well, like, you know what it is? Sometimes there's things like the Fraser one and stuff where it's the last.
I haven't got that. Is that for sale yet?
Yeah, and then like literally like 40 people were like, "Oh, we want them." Like so, like we sold like 50 of them, like which is
what? The Fraser one is out.
It's
sold out. I wanted that
like,
one.
Bizarre, but yeah, no, like it's.
I wanted that t-shirt.
The band in the 90s.
It's not. He's ignoring me. Like, can you believe he's ignoring me? Like,
I'm exactly the same, but I don't have any. I've all the Gamma Bomb t-shirts I have are from like 2002. Fresh stocks of merch. Your Psychosis t-shirt's killer though, man. I must get one of them.
I'll swap it out for the fucking Manhattan Fraser one.
Or Seattle
yeah.
One.
Yeah, but
straight
then I have
off
to go on the
back.
internet and order it like fucking every other Johnny play.
Peasant.
Oh, poor Joe.
Richie actually has a special internet that only he can use. Like
that's the shit thing. See, whenever like they don't even send you one. Like so, it's like the last 10 t-shirts I don't even have a copy of. Like so, you're like, oh, I have to buy one, right? I'm not
Thanks
very much.
Do you not get sent like a test print or anything? No, just hope for the best.
No, they're just like, fuck that.
Evan, that would freak you out if you're not in control of worn out merch. That would
it's
freak
like
you
fucking,
out.
You end up
a bit, yeah.
Out of it anyway, like, you know. Like when we were on Eric, we were like literally just fucking give everyone, you know, 5 t-shirts, like, you know. And then they were all like, what happened to all the merch? Like you lost like $3,500 in merch, and we're like, oh, we just give all them away to people in the pubs or
yeah
acting irresponsibly with merch.
There definitely is a time, I think, like when you know, when your mates come up, they're like, oh, I'll buy something, and there's like this instinctive thing to go, oh no, you're fine, but just breaking out of the habit of like kind of being like, this costs you so much. If you want to do the next thing and get to the next venue, it's okay to charge your mates. Like, do you know what I mean? Like I buy mate stuff all the time, but it's that like natural thing that comes to your head. I don't know if it's an Irish thing of just being like, oh no, I couldn't. Oh no, I couldn't.
But is there a certain fan out there that is there trying to fucking get the freebies the whole time? No more than we all know the guy. We all know the guy or girl that will avoid paying for the drink in the pub if there's rounds.
Yeah.
We all know him. I can fucking name them there. But is there people out there in the metal scene that will just fucking take freebies all day long or actually insist on a freebie?
Or I'll get you the
come
money.
Across them? I'm just putting it out
100%.
there.
Yeah, 100%.
Really? Okay.
Got lads that are like, you know, mates that are like, not having the cash on them there when they're at the merch table, and you're like, oh yeah, cool, just give it back to me. And then that's gone.
That's
gone.
Shit.
Fuck.
That's poor form.
So
and
they
if that
are
offends,
out there.
if that offends anyone, it's probably because I'm talking about you. Like, if anyone's like, "Fuck's sake," it's like, well, it says a lot if you're offended by that. Like, do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, it totally does happen.
Danielle?
Yeah, I'd say there's definitely people out there. All right, it's poor form. Like. So you're trying to get these bands to the next stage, as you said there, Evan, and you're stopping them from doing that by being a
fucking
stingy
petrol
prick.
money. It's not like you're funding the entire next recording, but it's just like if you're doing a few gigs, it's just it's petrol money, or for us, a lot of the time it can actually just be down to paying the driver, because like splitter vans and stuff aren't cheap, so it's little things like that, because either way it's going to come out of our pocket. So if a band want to gift someone a t-shirt for doing something, and that's the band's decision.
That's understandable.
That's fucking do whatever you want with that. But it's when fucking I'll get you back there, I need a t-shirt, whatever. And then, there's not even an inkling of them trying to get in contact with you. Keep in mind now, there has been guys that like might not have the money on the day. We'd only ever do this in Cork, and like the very next day or something, we're getting messages being like, I have this, where would I give it to you, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's cool. If you're a mate, as long as I know I'll get... Will get money,
but I mean,
that's fucking fine.
You do offer to pay for it and stuff like that.
100%.
Fuck it, my reputation in relation to buying merch is second to none. But again, I will get gifted stuff by bands insisting on giving it to me. They insist, and I will go, well, fair enough, then I'll wear it and then I'll promote you on the show, and that's
actually, you are exactly the same colour as Joey Baldona, man. Like, you have got the sun in a very major way. Like, either you're under a red light or something.
No, it's fucking liver failure, like jaundice.
There you go, man. Fucking
that's what it is.
It's on its way. Thanks, Ed.
No worries, but
I hope to see out this podcast.
Yeah.
Then
especially with the white t-shirt, like really brings out the jaundice in your eyes.
All right, bros.
I was reading the thing about when Metallica played in like Barcelona in 1987. After the gig, the whole audience just rushed the merch stand, and the merch guy got trampled and the store
they just fucking robbed everything.
They were just all doink.
Brilliant.
And it happened at an Anthrax gig in Liverpool as well.
Sure, look, there's
one wee guy at the merch versus all these.
That's the problem. There's power in numbers. It's not his fault. He's supposed to do, unless you have fucking the biggest fiend in the world. I think that could happen.
Yeah, so they're out there. Okay, so look, let's move on. We've got songs to review. And the first one up, let me check, I think, is Hapless Wretch. Yes, Hapless Wretch. So they're on Cursed Monk Records. Shout out to Raj. He sent it on to me, yeah. And we don't know too much about them. He said that their Cursed Monk Records are proud to announce that we are working with Hapless Wretch on the release of their debut EP, Volume 1. Not much is known about Hapless Wretch, other than they are one-person Black and Death sludge project based in London in England. And they make wretched music for wretched people. Are we wretched enough to enjoy them? That's the question. In Roger's opinion, this is one of the nastiest releases of 2021 so far. A 10-minute sonic assault of the senses. Volume 1 releases on July the 9th on CD via Cursed Monk Records, and they'd like if we spread the word on them. So we'll give them a listen and see what you think. Okay, so that track was Natrium Myrrh. And we will go to Joe first on this one.
Bass sounded good. So it did. Singing kind of, it sounds like, I don't know, do you ever listen to Harsh Noise? Like, you know, the sort of sounds like insane, kind of static. Like, I thought the vocals were a lot more kind of like that, you know? But, like, not really my cup of tea. And, like, I really don't like that kind of drum production as well. Like, you know, it always sort of feels like the kick drums are, like, taking over half the mix and stuff. But
Yeah.
it probably sounds like the kind of thing that people who are into, you know, ambient black metal or whatever might be into. So. But I'm not one of them.
Okay, yeah. Is there a kind of, because they remind me a bit of another band that we'd on last month as well, that kind of same vibe. Was it, who were they? New Mud, was it? Or
New
something
Mud?
like that?
New Mud. Yeah. It, like, I think it definitely it is in that same kind of like dirty, almost industrial thing.
Yeah.
I think
is this a new trend, for example?
I don't even know. I think it's actually just that, like, more bad. Like, when you're, maybe it's like with the pandemic, it's easier stuff to do. But, like, I think what Joe was saying, like, the bass tone is fucking sick, dirty as hell. I think the fucking vocals are gack, to be honest. Like, they wouldn't be my thing at all. I think there's a good lot of groove in it. But, like, I'd say, do you know what? If I saw that live, I'd be like, okay, like, you're kind of thinking wall of sound.
Yeah.
But it might just be, I don't know, like, even I said the last time with New Mud that I loved that, but it's very rare that I like stuff of that kind of genre. It's like, it's almost like industrial grind, I think.
Yeah.
That kind of vibe, but it was all right. Like, you know, I feel like I want to be more what's the word, like, straightforward with my criticism, but it's like, I know that there's people that absolutely fucking love that. Again, the same as Joe, that it's not for me. It's not, I wouldn't be like, oh, that's shit. But it just wouldn't be something.
There is
a market for it.
There's a market there, yeah.
This is the thing where I can't just be like, oh, this is actually bad music. I don't fucking own I don't decide what bad music is or isn't, but it doesn't do anything for me. And honestly, I think it's the vocals that take away a lot of that. I think the bass tone is sick and there's a lot of groove, but the vocals on it just
like,
take
there's
it away.
4 songs on the EP, and it comes in at like 10 minutes, and out of all of them, that was the one that was the most pleasing to my ear, put it that way. But anyway, Danielle, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm kind of on the fence about it. I do think the drums were a bit overpowering, all right, in the mix. But I suppose in terms of if there's a scene for this type of music at the moment, this guy is based in London, isn't he? And are New Mud Irish? So I'm not sure.
New Mud are from Belfast.
So I'm not sure if there's a scene for it. Maybe it could be something when things open up again, because it would be interesting to see how this translates live.
That's absolutely.
That's a big thing.
Well, it's a one metal project, so it could be just a studio.
Yeah, that's it. I'm wondering, has he got ideas to put a band together to do it live, or is it just studio? So it'd be interesting. But they're on a great record label anyway, Curse Monk. So yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Curse Monk are unreal. A lot of the stuff that they've kind of swung me to stuff that I wouldn't usually have listened to.
There you go. You summed it up.
I will always support Curse Monk, because I think, like, I'm not, like, a lot of the stuff I wouldn't listen to, but when Curse Monk puts something out, I'll even give the fucking time to listen to it, and I get, like, often pleasantly surprised by a lot of the stuff. But this isn't like, this didn't do it for me at all, like.
And that's fair enough. But yeah, it's good that Rog is taking a chance at these bands and pushing out the boundaries, and
seems like one of the soundest
long may
label owners,
continues.
Like, yeah, absolutely.
May continue doing it. Okay, so
I missed one of those hats as well.
no, are they sold out?
Yeah, they're sold out.
Okay.
I got paid like a couple of days after they were sold out. So
Okay.
I will buy one if you're watching, Raj.
Okay, so the next band up are Six Too Late, and the track is Right Please. So Six Too Late are from Dublin. They're an alternative rock 5-piece, and they're proud to see the release of 3 new tracks on their Insurrection EP, which was released on June the 18th. So shout out to Jason and the lads. We played one of their songs before. I don't know, do you remember Gone the King?
Yeah, that sounds familiar, yeah.
Yeah,
I remember that.
I think they kind of fall nicely in amongst the kind of grunge and metal side of things. So this is Right Please, and see what you think.
I saw the few turn into thousands of you. That's when we knew the numbers grew. We're breaking through. The message sent. Don't be afraid of governments. The opposite is true. They should be afraid of you.
So that was Six Too Late, but Right Please. Danielle?
So it's funny, I've got like my list here of songs and what I thought about them, and then I wrote down Not Sure beside this. I really, there's some parts I'm like, that's fucking class. Really enjoyed it, like when it kicks in. And the vocals as well, at times I'm like, that's class. And other times I'm like, I don't know about that. A bit of it's kind of typical, almost like you've heard it before. And then there's other stuff you're like, that's savage. So I think I need to hear the other 2 tracks as well.
What do you think potentially wise with them?
Potentially wise, like it's interesting you said about the grunge, because I've been saying to Pete for a while. I think there is a market for grunge at the moment in Ireland, and there's not real. There's no one really doing it. So I think there is a scene for that.
And what about the vocalist?
I think he's a really good vocalist. He's really, really strong, but at times I wasn't a big fan of it. At times I was like, that sounds really good. Kind of the chorus part was kind of typical, but production-wise, I thought it was quite good. I don't know about the rest of it, but yeah.
Yeah, you enjoyed it really.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
When I listened, the first time I listened to it, the first thing that came to me is like guys that love Tool that also love playing SmackDown on PlayStation 2. Like that's probably the best. Like I can hear elements, especially vocally, of like Maynard kind of thing. But then a lot of the kind of riffs and stuff just reminded me like the menu of SmackDown on PlayStation 2. I think they're very good like musicians at what they do. I think I would like to see them kind of explore instrumentally a bit more, because I can tell they're actually very good at individual instruments. It just seemed very like new metal. Yeah, well, in it, like in a new metal sense, but like I know there's like a new metal kind of revival, but some people are doing it really well. Where this is like some of the riffs were very like kind of, I don't want to say something like stock, but I genuinely,
Yeah.
in a way, yeah. But I really do feel like there is potential in this band. I think if they like just explore what they can do instrumentally, because the vocals are there for a lot of stuff. I just think it seems like almost like an early stage of a new band to me.
Yeah. I think they have potential.
Definitely.
It's just a case of, I don't know, are they under management or is it just themselves? I'm not sure, but I think they could be pointed in the right direction and do really well.
That's the thing. I really do think they can. Like it's, I don't know, maybe if they look at just expanding some part of that sound, I think they could come out with something that just
there is a market there, I think, for it.
Oh, there is 100%. Yeah, 100%. Like I'm not bashing it at all. Like, I'm just saying that I feel like it's just underneath a certain mark.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think that's
me.
Yeah, they're nearly there. Yeah,
nearly there, and I'd like to see what they can do. Like,
Joe. Subsmithix.
It definitely sounded kind of like the kind of stuff you could imagine being quite popular. Sort of remind me of bands that you would hear on Kerrang, TV and stuff 10 or 12 years ago. But like it sort of seemed like there was three very distinct parts. Like like I get what you were talking about, Evan. Like his voice, whenever they were doing the intro part, sounded very unusual and kind of it had loads of personality. Then it kind of went into like a kind of more sort of
Disturbed.
Yeah, but like even sort of slightly pop punky sort of style woo bits, and it sounded a bit more crap then. And then whenever it went into the new metal thing, it sounded pretty stock. So it's like there's definitely loads of elements of play. I don't know how well they merge, but again, I don't know. Like this could be, as you guys were saying, it could be a new band really, and they're just finding their feet or whatever. So and like there's no way. There's nothing to say really that this sort of stuff wouldn't go down hugely well with people who like that kind of music. But so far, like if there is like a new metal revival going on, I don't think that there has been any bands really who's
there definitely is, but it's not that sound of new metal. You're getting bands from the UK like Graphic Nature, where it's, and like bands like Vane, like they have like elements of that new metal thing, but it's not the open 1-2 like diddly doo diddly doo diddly diddly doo kind of thing, you know. Like it's a lot more like of the production wise and stuff. It's not like the Spine Shank Disturbed kind of side of, it's the other side that was sick.
Yeah, it's, look, they're a Dublin band, be interesting to see. I'm thinking of Conjuring Fate or one of those other bands that they could just jump on a tour with and do really well and get to a lot more people than, as I said, they're probably at it maybe 3 to 4 years at a guess, and they've got potential. I think they have.
I want them to kind of like experiment and do, because there's potential there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there is, and I feel like they are trying things. It's just not working for me. But
like Gone the King was the one we reviewed before, and it was excellent. But the other two tracks were so and so. But look, I think they're progressing, and we'll see. We'll watch with interest.
So was this from the same release, like the same EP? No, okay,
this is a new one.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so we'll move on. The Chris Rowling Band. I like this. It's Trapped Inside. They're from west of France. So in summer 2013, the trio delivered a fast and raw rock and roll, hard rock, riffing, punk, wildness, psychobilly. I don't make this up, by the way. The band is the missing link between Boo Diddley and Slayer. Now, we'll have a listen. You can make up your own mind on that. So it was self-release was in 2016. And their first full length was called Spitfire, and that came out on Italian label Wormhole Death Records in 2019. I get a lot of emails from Wormhole Death Records, and they've got really good bands under stable, so I'll give them a big shout out.
Wait, their first one was 2016, not this one.
The first full length was Spitfire, and that
Okay.
came out in 2019.
That's okay. Okay.
Yeah, so they moved on to a Swedish record label in 2021 and released Cannonball Holocaust. 14 songs full of speed and anger, loud and mean as hell. Now I listened to that and it's fucking excellent. It's really good. So they've played a lot of they're well used to touring. They've played in bars, clubs, festivals right across Europe. And big shout out to Chris on guitars, and he's the lead vocalist, Bryce on bass, and Tib on drums. So I'll give you a listen to this one. So that was the Chris Rolling Squad. I fucking loved it. That's all I'll say.
Knew you would when I was listening to it as well. Yeah.
Imagine seeing that live. Oh my fucking God. Over to you, Ev.
This is the tune that Motorhead never wrote. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Joe fucks off then.
But it's definitely like a Motorhead, a bit of like fear in the vocals. I think again super accomplished musicians. This 3-piece as well,
Yeah.
very impressive. It's just fucking solid thrash. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it really does have that like Motorhead vibe to it as well.
Well, they wear it on their sleeves, I would say. So,
Yeah, 100%. Like, this is unapologetic with what they're doing, and I think fucking great. Yeah, like, big fan. Like, it would, again, it might not be something that I would listen to regularly, but like, I'm not going to deny in any sense that it's actually just fucking class. Like,
It is class.
They're fucking great at what they do. Sounds tight. Vocals are great.
And the solo as well there, man.
Oh, unreal. Yeah, absolutely. Like, the pure fucking licking the fretboard shit, like, you know. But yeah, it gets 2 thumbs up the bum from me anyway.
Yeah, Joe?
Yep, very good indeed. Kind of reminded me of the Death Angel comeback album. What's it called again? The Art of Dying. It was really good. So, like, and definitely loads of like Kill 'Em All worship going on. Like, all the solos and breaks all had that kind of hit the lights kind of feel.
Yeah, very
It's
much
great.
so. You're spot on.
And as you said as well, I've like definitely kind of, you know, like a later Motorhead album, like
Yeah.
Killers, it sounded something like it had that really cool Mickey D type feel.
Yeah, absolutely.
And kind of cool continental vocals. Like, that's the kind of thing we were talking about before, you know, how vocals can make or break something.
Mhm.
And I thought your man had a really original kind of approach. And it's like just enough punk and just enough like rock and roll and sort of thrash all together that I could see this going down amazingly if they were open for something like Volbeat.
I
Yeah,
think
I
I
was
was
just
actually,
gonna
man, when I first listened to it, I think they'd be fucking great to open for you. If you're in France or something, I think they'd be a great shout now.
And like France has got a really good kind of like healthy approach to that. They're always sort of mixing punk and metal and stuff like that, you know, and sort of, I don't know, they're not really concerned about image in the same way that, like, that's one thing I would say probably about Irish metal is that like everything from, you know, Primordial and Cruachan to like more new kind of sludgy doom bands and stuff, there is like, it is quite image conscious music, you know, whereas like the French have a wee bit more of a like, fuck it, we don't care kind of attitude generally, and I think it sounds great on that, you know.
Yeah.
That's an interesting point. And as I said, like, why wouldn't you not like that? I mean, it's got everything as for a metal fan that even a neutral will just be tapping the foot along to. And if you're a fan of thrash and Motorhead and rock and roll, it's class. Like, I mean, but anyway, Danielle,
I love the way you say, like, why wouldn't you like that? Danielle would go, oh,
tell
shit.
me it's shit, Daniel. I doubled there, yeah.
I mean, like, as a metal fan, like, if you don't like it, you're just fucking wrong. Like,
Danielle has been excommunicated from the forums.
Yeah.
No, I actually really enjoyed it, and I actually wrote down there Volbeat. I said Volbeat but better. Yeah, because
Wow.
I think he's kind of got a little bit of that style to his vocals, the rockabilly kind of style. And I'd love to see them live. I think they'd be savage.
yeah, there'd be a lot of sweaty t-shirts getting swung around.
But like the fact that Volbeat have done so well in the last few years alone, they've shot up so quickly. There's definitely a market for it, and I think a good place for those guys to start would be like, you know, Hellfest do a warm-up tour around France, and I think they would be savage to get on that. Hellfest warm-up. So, yeah.
I don't know if Chris is American or not. Would it surprise me if it was? It wouldn't.
No, I would presume he is. I'd say he just seems like he's just living in France. He didn't like. Well, I don't know. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, it's interesting. They're definitely one to watch. Would you all agree?
Absolutely, yeah. I'll watch him shower.
As I said, I listened to the album, man. It's fucking super from start to finish. It's full on, and I love that. Okay, next band is Tend, and the song is called Boss Rush, and a shout out to Philip. So Philip moved from Belfast to Glasgow, and he's been playing in a doom band as well called Brethren. And he said that some of the ideas didn't fit in with Brethren, and that's how Tend came about. So he got really drawn into programming beats on his workstation and began to build the songs up from there. I described the sound as modern industrial metal, he said. So Disavowals was released in May, covering themes like sleep paralysis and seeing our world through other eyes. So the album Disavowals is available on Bandcamp, and, you know, as I said, the name is Tend, and they're based in Glasgow. So I'll be very interested in to see how this will go down with you. Let's have a listen to it. Okay, Danielle, over to you.
At the start, I thought like I'd gone back to the dial-up internet. Yeah, look, it wasn't for me. I I'm not big into that kind of. It's almost an experimental kind of a thing. I kind of felt it was just me. It could have done with a lot more bass. That's just I like a lot of bass. But I suppose it's interesting to see this style. I'd like to see what people think of it. But it just wouldn't really be for me. I suppose it's cool to explore that, especially one person kind of just trying it out by themselves. But yeah.
I suppose I didn't do it justice either by playing the rest of it, because there's a lot of interesting, almost dance beats that get introduced later on in the track, which I loved. Joe?
I thought it was kind of interesting. And did you are these guys from London, are they? Or no,
Glasgow.
He's moved to Glasgow, didn't he?
Yeah, from Belfast.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting. There's certainly a kind of scene for that kind of stuff. The program drums are definitely something it takes a little while to get used to whenever you hear it, because I think you sort of automatically think those sort of things are going to have those sort of kind of Conan or Candlemass, really sparse, loud, boomy acoustic drums. Kind of interesting. There's parts of it that kind of remind me of like zombie movie music, or cannibal movie kind of music, like that kind of weird tom sounds out of nowhere. Those kind of boom, boom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I thought it was kind of interesting, and it'd be one of those things that probably sounds completely different live, but I would be interested to hear what other stuff. I presume the program drums, as you said, Richie, go in a very different place sometimes.
Oh yeah.
And I get what you mean, Danielle, as well as it sounded like it was all bass to me. But it's very it's really trebly, motorheady bass. There isn't.
It wasn't mastered.
I don't think there was a guitar on it.
No.
It wasn't mastered. No.
But yeah, there you go. What do you have?
I'll be straight. I didn't like this at all. One thing about the type of music, I get it. I don't like it. It's not my thing. So fucking whatever. We'll move on from that. I think it literally sounds, and it's the vibe he's going for a bedroom thing with one person. Do you know what I mean? And that's fine, especially with industrial stuff. But for me and this can be for bands even submitting stuff going forward, I understand we're going through a pandemic and people are doing bedroom recordings and things like that, but if you're literally sending something that you quickly made, it's not mastered, and for me it's very hard, because in my eyes, if you're sending something here, it's a finished product. It's not, don't send demos, send something that's finished and is exactly how it's supposed to sound, because I think just the quality of it really just took away from listening to the actual song of it.
But would you not say that it's supposed to sound like that though?
But that's what that's the completely, absolutely, with the industrial thing, but the do tom thing, I was it's just so not something that I would listen to, and I understand some lo-fi stuff works well, but for me with that, it was just some fiend just having the fucking crack with Logic for the first time, and
that's amazing. And I'm
sure the guys listen, and this is no offense to him, because I don't listen to that kind of thing. Fucking, I'm not saying I'm the holder of what is right and wrong in music.
Know that, yeah.
It's just sounded like it was I was going to have a fuck act and send it in to the Metal Cell there. It's I can't see past that. Do you know what I mean? I have such a hard time seeing past anything that seems like a demo. And I think it should be really, really, really make sure this is what. Maybe that is exactly what he wants to sound like.
I think he does, being true.
Yeah, and then that's his thing.
And then if he does want it that way, I'm not the guy he's selling to anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. In this case, I don't like it at all.
You're a very nice Simon Cowell, so you are, man.
Well, that's the thing, because at the end of the day, I
listened to the album and I thought, holy fuck, I won't enjoy this at all. But it's so, as Joe said, like, there's so much interesting. It doesn't do it
Will
justice
you
for
send
the
me
clip.
the other tracks
Yeah,
after
it
this? Because
doesn't
I
do
would
it
actually be
justice, the
interested
clip.
in seeing. Yeah,
There's no point in me playing fucking 5.5 minutes of it on this because
Yeah. No, and I
everybody
get
will
that.
just veer
this
off.
is just something with industrial that, like, you know,
There was
like,
some mad fucking drum beats going on, and
I
it was
feel
just-
like it should be listened to as a whole. It's not really like single music. And I
think
get that.
I think that's the best way to sum it up, Ed.
Even
You're right.
with doing the metal cell, I've definitely always been like, it came with like sludge stuff. I was like, nah. Now there's like loads of stuff now. I'm like, that's chunky. That's great. I've started jamming kind of sludgier stuff with people. Do you know, like it really has. Like, I want to kind of get into the mindset of being like, okay, what is this? Because at the moment, like, listen to that, I'm just like, I'm hearing like
nearly
the quality
sure
of
this
it just
is
isn't fucking there for me at all. Like,
I think that actually was the last track on the album. So it's right, you know, from the first track upwards, you're kind of aware, okay, this is different. This is
I've no problem with different either. Like, you know, don't get me wrong. It's just
no, as I said, thanks for being so straightforward with that. But
well,
as
either
I said,
way, look at the fucking state of me. Like, I can't fucking say shit.
don't
like,
be fucking no.
But either way, I
agree with Joe on that. It's very interesting. He definitely fucks around with it as the tracks come through with different beats, and there's almost a serious nod to dance culture in it with the other tracks as well. So cool. Okay. Right.
Send that to me after this.
Yeah, of course I will, man.
Do, but
yeah. But look, this is just the way it is. We only play a clip of a minute and a half, and you know, as I said, you've all listened to it. And okay, so the next band is Hashmaker. Big shout out to the lad. What?
Can I pee?
Yeah, go for it.
Are you going to take a big steaming shit on somebody else's music? Are you?
I need to fucking cleanse myself.
That was really quick piss. Well done.
Yeah, sure. I only have the one penis. Like,
Fair play.
Right, we'll jump back in from Hashmaker. Sarah's going to be
so
whatever.
Next up, our Hashmaker with Gram Lines. So the lads have released a new EP called Attack of the 50-Foot Lobsters. It's a melting pot of sounds, groove, doom, and sludge being some of the main components used to tell this fantastical tale set out by the title. The EP chronicles the exploits of the 5 band members as they roamed the streets of Cork during a heavy session. However, the night is interrupted by the attack of giant lobsters rising up from the ocean, set on destroying the earth. I mean, what a great concept.
Yep.
It's nice to have an actual...
Like,
how bad is
that? Like?
How did they get there before us? Like, that's a proper gamophone.
Yeah, that really... I was actually thinking the exact same thing. Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing.
So the EP...
When they said melting pot, I was like, is that with lobsters? It was like, have they realized what they did? I didn't know.
Oh, fuck it. Okay, fair enough. I didn't catch that.
Puns,
the EP features 6 tracks. I've listened to them all. They're fantastic. They're based in Cork, Hashmaker, and you can hear groove, doom, sludge and metal, as I said. So shout out to Josh on drums, Adam on vocals, Jim Spillane from Dirty Casuals on guitar, Brian Tuig on guitar, and Connor Walters on bass. And as I said, this is Gram Lines. I think this is the closing track of the album. Of the EP, I should say. Joe, you look like you were enjoying that.
I wasn't really enjoying it that much until he said Super Kings, and then I was like, wait a minute, this is the kind of content I can get behind. Yeah, so like I thought there was like a kind of cool Mr. Bungle-y, Mike Patton
Yes.
vibe, generally.
Yeah.
Or even a bit
absolutely.
of like Zappa-iness in some of the weird riffs. Because it's like, sometimes whenever you hear like a bass like that, you're like, oh, did they just like play the worst riff ever? And you're like, oh wait, it's actually insane time signature, like, you know. Again, that was a good laugh, like, you know, and like I think a lot of that sort of music can come across extremely seriously when you listen to it, you know. So if they're
Really?
having a bit of it, well, like as in, you know, musically and stuff like that, it can be very like, oh, you know?
Oh yeah.
So,
Sorry,
like,
yeah.
I think it's kind of cool that they have a bit of a different approach and stuff. But like, like we found this specifically having tunes, you know, where you have funny lines and shit in it. If you get too funny, then like, you know, people will just be like, just shout any old shit, you know, Super Kings, fuck off and stuff in songs. It's really, really cool, but like you can definitely go too far with that sort of stuff. In my own experience of having gone too far, like it can be very hard to be taken seriously sometimes, you know, by some people. But then, sure, you know what? Like it's kind of one of those things. If people enjoy the music, like who gives a shite what other people think about it?
Haven't heard the EP. As I said, that's the closing track, and that's the longest. The rest of them
So
are
they
around
get their cans,
2.5
and it's all
minutes.
right, isn't it?
What?
They get their cans, and it's all right.
Buckfast.
Is it? Well, they get their fucking Super Kings. Like, oh, they're fags. Yeah.
Yes, facts.
Imagine
Cigarettes.
smoking joints with Super Kings in them. But like, also, you know what? You haven't been able to get a piece of hash in this country since the pandemic started.
Hash
so,
is shit, man.
well, you're smoking hash, man.
Actually, I don't smoke weed. Actually, I loved hash, but
you can get really nice hash, but it's all imported. So, adios.
Friend of a friend would recommend what I had. I mean, no, I don't smoke.
Someone else.
any more or less.
Yes, Danielle.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. Love the artwork, Colin.
Of course, shout out to
Fucking
Colin.
unreal. It's
Savage.
absolutely unreal. I think that's genuinely one of Colin's best works as well.
And I'm really glad we got to review it actually, because I've seen.
Hey, hold on a second. That was
Colin's
one of
here.
Colin's best.
Yeah, Colin. That's
Metal
I thought you were saying,
Cell
here's
Pile.
Colin.
Metal Cell podcast, the fucking.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
one of-
genuinely one of my favorites. I'm going to say it just for the ridiculous factor. It's actually one of my
We'll
favorites.
give you
But
that.
you're
We'll
obviously
give you
But,
At least I'm honest. Like,
Go on.
yeah,
I'll flick my hair. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
Joe's.
if you had
Joe,
me.
flick the hair.
Actually, we have a cover band, me and a couple of lads, and we've like, you know, whenever you don't know the arrangements, you either have to flick your hair or do like kiss tongue movements or whatever. And change the next part of the song.
I do that. I've been doing that in drums for years.
Anyway, sorry, Danielle. Rudely interrupted. My apologies.
Well, I was just saying I was delighted to review because for ages I was like, I must listen to Hashmaker because they sounded something I would really like, and I did really like them. I love that they don't take themselves too seriously.
No.
It's fun and it sounds class, and all their influences are bands I love. So yeah, awesome.
And the bass player wrote it.
Oh,
Totally.
Did he?
Absolutely,
You can tell
from
that
start
with
to
the
finish. Yeah.
bass. It's very bass forward. Like,
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah. To be honest, man, I actually really like it, and I think the reason that I really like it is they're not taking themselves too seriously. It's like does anyone remember Psycho Stick, that were just 100% a comedy band, like comedy metal? They're like just like a step behind it that I'm like still able to kind of appreciate the songs on it as well. I think the thematical the theme of it, fucking great. You know, it's refreshing just to have a band there that it's very like it's one of those things that, like, with how fucking ridiculous it is, if someone said it was shit, it's not going to matter, because it's like, you know, it's just one of those, they're not taking anything too seriously at all. It does sound good, and like I think I prefer the first single that they released online. This one's still good, but the one before I thought was a little bit better. Steamed Ham, Attack of the Steamed Hams, isn't it? Yeah.
But what did you think of the musicianship? Like, are they bluffers? Are they really good?
No, I think they're great. Drummer, I think, is very good. Bassist is absolutely sick. Yeah, there was one part with the two guitar with like, it's not a harmony, but it's almost like a diminished harmony. With the vocal over, it sounded like Job for a Cowboy.
Yes.
So I was like, yeah,
You're
I was
spot
like,
on.
fuck. Yeah. I was like, fuck, that's actually really sick. But just, I'll always admire a band that aren't going to be like, we have to be this. It is very...
I think they fit in nicely as well to the Cork genre
They
of
do,
being
and
quirky
you know what, man?
and unusual and a great sense of humor.
I think the actual people in the band come across more in that, you know,
The
if it's
characters
like
too.
the characters, yeah. Like you can be real super serious bands, but like any like video content or anything can be fucking hilarious. And I actually really appreciate that, because it's not like you can write some songs from the darkest places, but if you know, like, then the videos can be all these like really super dark things, and like we'll do it ourselves, but you'll meet the people then and they're like, "Whoa, what's the crack?" Like, you know?
A good example
And
of
it's
that's like Mastodon. Like their music is really serious,
100%, yeah.
and they are the crack. Like,
But I always admire a band that's like gonna have, like, in this case now it's all taking the piss, but like a band that can have like Every Time I Die can have super serious tracks and then a really piss take video, but then they can also have a really serious video and song. Like it just, it's literally, I just feel like the full spectrum of human mood, and I like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas this is just fucking having the crack. It's like, it's even like listening to it, it's like, well, what is the point in me like trying to critique tiny little parts in it? Because it's just fucking fun. Like,
Yeah.
that's all it is. It's just
And
fun,
the whole,
and it comes
as I
across.
said, it is a concept in relation to these joint.
But that's it. It's like, are you really going to
Lobsters.
sit there and be like, oh well, I don't really like the tone and that? It's like, it's about fucking lobsters that came to take over Cork,
I think-
and the
was
boys
that
were
a wee
just
bit of
looking
a,
for
like-
cans. Like,
Is that a wee bit of a Dublin accent there that you were doing whenever you were going on like a posh Egypt? You were like, I don't know about that.
oh, maybe I did. Yeah, I lived in
Maybe
Dublin
you
for
cut
2
them out.
years, so fucking.
But yeah, it's great, and there's talking right through the whole thing. It's
It's just
it
character.
fits in
mate.
lovely
It's-
with the Cork scene, I think, myself.
they're
And
a
it will
great
be-
addition.
It
Yeah.
will be fantastic live. They've got probably they're doing two covers as well. So I think they've around 40 minute set.
Yeah,
And
I saw
that
their,
will be seriously
Yeah,
fun to
absolutely.
watch.
Go for it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, if a band doesn't take themselves too seriously,
Yeah.
are you really going to sit there and start shitting on them? It's like, well, they're probably going to sit and agree with you and then end up gaining from it, like, do you know? And I admire that.
Cool. Okay. That's it. That's the 5 songs done and dusted. And
That's the podcast, everyone.
let's all go home.
Yours.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks,
We
Danielle.
are home
Thanks,
because
fair
of the
play.
pandemic. We
Oh.
are at home.
Actually, funnily enough, the last forums we discussed our favorite live albums, and it went on for 25 minutes. And because I was so drunk, I couldn't direct G, and suddenly I just went, you know what? I'm not going to pace and edit this. So I said, back to the lads here. Let's do it all again and give me your favorite live metal albums. So this is where we are. And maybe,
Not
Joe, you
ours,
might.
but coming up with new content. We're just going to.
No.
and now we're just going to paste that 25 minutes
Yeah.
on
We're all
here.
going to change T-shirts.
Yeah.
And
Joe's going to. That
Danielle's
means
gonna have a
Joe's going to
beer
wear
in her
4
hand.
different T-shirts.
Well, it is incredibly warm. I do have some.
Yeah, I'm fucking. I'm hot
Unbelievable.
as fuck right now. Like,
let's move on to this. Our favorite live albums. Joe, let's start
move
with
on
you.
to this. Hang on, no.
Oh, no.
Oh fucking! I
No,
am telling
no,
you
we're
now.
not doing-
Something
no,
Evan
no, no.
Prendergast.
No,
Don't be
not
taking the
happening,
piss.
mate. No.
Joe, what
We
is your
will have-
favorite live album, EP, whatever.
Studio album, or I mean live album.
Whatever. Go on, Joe.
Favorite album. Well, Live and Dangerous, pretty top one, isn't it? Like the 70s, it's like pretty amazing period for them, and like I think it was because greatest hits albums weren't really the norm, you know, for rock bands and stuff. So a lot of people got into live albums just because they were a way of getting the greatest hits of someone. And like Lizzie, their best collection of songs is definitely Thunder and Lightning, and they sound better live than they do on the studio. So hard one to beat, really. But I love all the ones from around then: UFO, Strangers in the Night, Blue Oyster Cult, Some Enchanted Evening, Judas Priest, Unleashed in the East. They're all fucking crackers. Cheap Trick at Budokan as well. They were fucking.
That's a good one, yeah.
Amazing. There's a couple of good ones from, like right before it all sort of, the CD kind of thing ended. Like, Led Zeppelin, How the West was one. It was fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
Pearl Jam, Live in Two Legs. It was great.
That's fucking unreal. That was one of my ones.
And whenever that came out, that was a huge thing. There's another one from around. Guns N' Roses live era.
Yeah,
I think that was whenever it was still like, holy shit, this is.
Yeah, I couldn't be arsed with them now, to be honest.
What about did Metallica release any
Binge and Burge or whatever?
live?
S&M.
Like, I don't think
S&M as well.
have any thrash bands? Well, Slayer did Decade of Aggression. It was good, but
Yeah.
generally, like Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax.
One of my favorite live albums is Testament live at Eindhoven.
Very good. And like, there's a good Forbidden one from, is it the year after, whatever, Forbidden, Raw Evil at Dynamo.
That's right. Yeah, I was going to say that.
I'm going to throw a fucking spanner in the works. Absolutely 100% my number one favorite, without a doubt, because I was like, fucking, what live albums do I actually like genuinely regularly listen to? And there's very few, but Alice in Chains Unplugged.
Yeah, I got that one written down.
Fucking, that's a fucking, like, shut it down now. Do you know? Like, oh my God. Xander in Worn Out now, like, we will fucking, if we're drinking cans and left to our own devices, that entire thing is going on. That entire thing is going on. It's fucking phenomenal. And even like knowing that, like, how that was like his last gig, and like died not long after. And when you're watching him,
last gig?
I think,
that was
one of his last ones. He wasn't long gone after it. But you can, like, when you're looking at that perspective of it, like, I know there's the video, you can watch it, but you can see he's like sunglasses on, like, he's fucking goosed. But his voice is so powerful, so fucking powerful that it's just, I get chills every time with fucking Nutshell, like, oh.
And that actually, I seen a video today, and it was Metallica covered Wood. But it was during the pandemic, and it was acoustic, so it was kind of they're all at home.
Fucking horrific, isn't it?
Fucking dire.
Yeah. They did other stuff as well. It's fucking crap.
Really, really bad.
And you think Lars Ulrich as a drummer would have somewhere better to record drums in? It's like, if I was a millionaire, one of the first things I'm going to do is have a place for me to play drums and a studio and record. My iPhone could have recorded the way he had, and it's like the lad was like this skinny, but his fucking the biggest swollest hands ever. It's just like fucking
fuck him.
Danielle, like,
would you agree with that?
Yeah, no, I love.
He's a joke.
But yeah, no, I love the Alice in Chains Unplugged. But my favorite one from when I was a kid was Slipknot 9.0. That's
never actually listened to it, but
I've heard it's a double good CD. It's class. It's unreal. But it's not just in one place. It's like it follows the tour. It's not just in one location. And there's one show where they get an announcer to go on first of all, and they're like basically, due to unfortunate circumstances, Slipknot will not be able to play. They're not going to be able to play tonight. And the crowd go fucking buck ape, and then Slipknot come on and play, and they're just like nuts.
Yeah, after Woodstock '99, that's very dangerous.
It's true. But another one that I was kind of brought up on was Made in Japan, Deep Purple.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, so that one's pretty good. S&M is actually how I got into Metallica. My parents bought that album and started listening to Metallica, so then I started by proxy.
Really? Wow. Okay. Yep. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I was at the S&M 2 gig in San Francisco there.
Oh, were you?
Were you?
19 or whatever. Yeah.
Fucking
I
unreal.
went to see Maiden were playing in the Oakland Coliseum on the Wednesday, and then I went to go and see all the locations from The Fog. And then went to go and see Metallica the next night. So, in order of goodness, it was Fog, Iron Maiden, and Metallica. Metallica were good, but I don't know. I think the problem with S&M2 was that there was too much of the same stuff that was in S&M1. Now it's different. There are different orchestral arrangements, but considering that it's a totally special kind of gig, you would have thought that Metallica would have been all right, let's do songs that we've never done before, or more acoustic stuff, or more just different material. Because to be honest, a lot of the thrash stuff that they do doesn't really particularly work. With an orchestra like Master of Puppets or whatever. Of
course it doesn't.
Obviously, Call of Cthulhu or Anesthesia was chilling. Everyone, her standing on the back of your neck. It was really, really, really cool. But yeah, a lot of it, and then I don't know, both last time Slain and that gig, whenever they started playing Enter Sandman, I just went for a piss.
Yeah,
fucking horse with that, or Nothing Else Matters. And it's not that they're shit songs or anything. It's just there's a bit of a kind of shit. I don't like it whenever it's really, really predictable what the last couple of songs of the gig are going to be.
Yeah.
Because you're just eh.
Well, one of my favorite albums is Iron Maiden Live After Death that I bought twice
with money.
Oh.
Imagine that. It's absolutely 100% one of the best albums out there, live albums out there.
Is it?
I went through such a massive thing over the last year with Maiden, and it's amazing. It's and they have tons of live albums before, or live stuff before it and after it and stuff, and none of them are anywhere near as good as Maiden. Live After Death's great.
Rock in Rio was kind of the one that I would have listened to a lot when I was younger.
Yeah. It's cool as well.
Yeah, good. But
there was, I'm telling you, this one now, it definitely has me and my dad, anytime we're in the car, it was Rage Against the Machine at the Grand Olympia, I think it is. It's a red cover with the star and the four of them on it.
Is it from the Battle of Los Angeles kind of era? Or?
Yeah. But the album is genuinely just I actually prefer it to a lot of the studio stuff because the energy is insane. It's fucking insane. And bands I think with my dad, things that we really connected on were Metallica. I didn't even really like Metallica too much. I was yeah, cool. But my dad loved them. So I was I'm going to fucking jump in with him. And then Rage Against the Machine.
He's gone.
Gone, baby, gone. Gone, baby, gone.
He really does have a Rage Against the Machine.
Yep.
Danielle's always great for those quirky remarks.
Yeah.
He's the Joey of our group.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Sorry, I'm back there. Where was I so you can edit?
You were on about Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah. So, after my dad was oh, Metallica, and then when my dad really got into Rage Against the Machine, had this live album. And
how old's your dad?
Mentally or physically?
Just make me feel better.
He's 61 or 2. I can't remember now. He'll tell you a different age every time you see him.
Okay, he's in his early 60s now.
Yeah, early 60s, yeah. But he's about 20 mentally, but
fair play to him.
Still to this day now, if we're putting on music, if Sleep Now and the Fire comes on, it's the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa. My dad's the Doobie, Fadoobie, Garubi, Galubi. And he'd be singing it as if he knows in the car, giving it absolute socks. And every time, especially with the live thing, and he'd be can you hear me? The Flugu, Garubi, Gadoobu. But that album is just so energetic. I think I love it's that's what will turn me over to a studio album. Or sorry, Richie, I got mixed up there. But but a live album is there's if a certain energy is caught, then it's it really, and with that it's just goosebumps kind of shit.
Yeah.
What was the first live album that you've heard? You know what I mean? They're not really common things. You'd always kind of go for studio albums first and foremost, but then, naturally, as you progress along through love and heavy metal, you will encounter the first live album.
Yeah,
What was that? It needn't be the best one, but what was the first live album that you encountered and went, fuck, okay.
Tom Jones in Las Vegas, and I'm not even taking the piss.
No,
I still
fair
listen
enough.
to that.
That's why I'm
fucking
asking.
amazing. Like,
Oh,
we had it on. I love that album. I still listen to it. That was the first kind of live thing that I was just like, whoa! there's people there. Like, what's going on? Fucking unreal.
Danielle?
Tom Jones still a legend.
I'm trying to get the name of it there, but it was a Nirvana live album. It wasn't.
Buddy Banks of the Wishbone, was it?
That's it. Yeah. That was it. My mom had it in the car when I was really small.
Wow. Jesus, you had great parents, to be fair.
Fair play. It was The Police were another fucking great one. Did they?
I know my
don't
mom's
if they
favourite band.
Joe?
Got to see him live.
Probably No Sleep Till Hammersmith by Motorhead was like a big one.
Yeah.
And like that's there's probably three categories really. It's like live albums from back in the day where the reputation came, like Live and Dangerous or No Sleep, where people are like, oh man, you have to, if you like that band, you have to listen to this. And then stuff like S&M2 or Unplugged, where it's like taking the band out of whatever their normal setting is and putting them into a different thing. And then like retroactive live albums, stuff like Deep Purple and Thin Lizzy and Zeppelin, where they've gone and found these shows and fixed them up and done that.
Yeah.
There's a great one of them, Metal Church Live from like 1998.
Fucking
and it's
love
like,
Metal
it's
Church.
brilliant, man. It's like they were on the Dark tour supporting Anthrax and
Their best album.
Totally killer. Like really, really great stuff. And
What's the name of that, Joe? You don't know?
Metal Church Live from
Metal Church
1998.
Live, yeah.
You'll find it. But it's weird. Like,
Completely
I was
agree
actually
with you,
kind of
Joe.
surprised,
100%.
Danielle, that like you and Ev were so like in tune with the more modern bands' live albums. Because like I don't know, maybe you agree with me about this, Richie. It seems like
They're gone.
Like nowadays, live albums don't really mean what they kind of used to, or
Absolutely.
more so that it's like a live album is now a live DVD. People will be like.
Yes. Yeah.
Whereas like back in the day, it was stuff like Metallica never had a live album, but the Seattle 1989 thing, they would have videos, but not a live album,
But I think that comes with
Great
like a
responsibility.
YouTube. Well, like with YouTube now, it's like there's so many full live sets that you can see that bands aren't doing that. Like I think for live, and this was something I wanted to bring up was like I am going to add some like full live sets that are on YouTube to it, and I think Power Trip, I think it's Bloodstock. That is,
I was at it, man.
I was at it too. Yeah.
I put that on at least once a week. Like
Really? Holy shit. I didn't even know it was available on YouTube.
Oh man, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's fucking. Yeah. Just find it on YouTube. It's just fucking incredible. Like even where
11 o'clock in the morning, Danielle.
Yeah,
that's
it
it.
was,
Yeah, and like he's just kind of like, oh, the lads were saying no, do it, but wall of death, you want it, and then instantly it's just like, but like that set to me, like for a band at 11 o'clock in the morning, and like loved it way before Riley died, but I think it holds that little bit more now when he's
Of course
gone.
it does. Yeah.
Of course,
But you're just like looking at this being like 11 o'clock in the fucking morning,
And
look,
they just
look
came
what
on
they
and
had.
went, fuck it, let's
And
go for it.
it's no lights, no theatrics,
you're spot on.
just fucking
Waterfront,
proper
man.
good riffs, like proper good
Waterfront, man.
riffs, pure energy, and it just like I put that on once a week at least. Like
Fucking hell. That's brilliant.
I just found out who the new bass player in Megadeth is, and I can't tell you until we're off air. So,
who did you find that out?
Viewers.
Yeah.
Jason News
This will
said,
probably
we all
not,
know
this'll
it.
probably
It's all
not come out
news,
for
Joe.
like 5 weeks until people are like, all right, I know that.
I love
already.
see
I don't care
see
about
now
that."
at least the best thing is look how much clout we have. Like we find
We're
stuff
on the,
out. Like
we're on the
Insider
fucking
info.
we
money,
actually
man.
the
We're on
Metal
money.
Cell podcast found out that we were changing to euros from pound about 3 years
Way
before
before,
as well.
yeah.
We advise
remember
people
that?
to go crypto.
Yeah, that was the thing. Yeah, absolutely. Like I knew
Anyway.
I knew COVID was coming. I
So
was needed a break. Like
the first live, and it's really an emotional event here. The first live album I was introduced to, and I have it on cassette, is Motorhead live at
Nice.
Hammersmith.
Yeah.
there is the cassette,
Wow.
and there is the faded, genuine, and it's got red ticks on it for some reason.
That'll be from the
Just
library.
Yeah, there we go. People renting it like.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's probably me ticking them off, going, these are my favorite things, and then marking it, and now it's
That's
no
cute
fucking
as
good.
fuck, Richie.
Yeah.
Do you know
So
what
that
I'm
was
gonna
my first introduction to live music, and
What
what's
other
that,
ones, Richie?
1981. Yeah.
What other ones, Richie, are there from the 80s? And like, because
There
obviously
you go.
Live After Death and that one are biggies, like, you know.
AC fucking DC.
Akka
If you
Daka.
want blood. And
That's
I've got
definitely
two of them as well.
their best album as well, I would say.
Absolutely
banging. Yeah,
incredible.
Maiden, Thin Lizzy, AC/DC, Motorhead.
Yeah.
I would probably say Judas Priest, Unleashed in the East. Like,
Yeah.
Slayer
album.
one is fucking
Fabulous.
sick.
Deep Purple.
I would agree with you there,
Live
man.
in
I think-
Japan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely
and
think a Decade of Aggression is
Yeah.
the definitive
Unreal.
Slayer
Fucking
release.
super one, yeah.
Great.
Black
But
Sabbath.
yeah, that was the
Past
first time I
Lives.
heard Slayer was actually
Yeah.
Decade of Aggression as well.
But like, surely Deep Purple Live in Japan is an awesome fucking album. Like,
Yeah, but it's from that 70s period, really, of like, you know, where there was a lot of fucking about on the albums. Like, it's a cool album and stuff, but like, there's a lot of like, you know,
The jam sections in
20
between.
minute
So
jams and stuff.
I think like I love them, like live albums with that. I like that shit more. Like there was, I think I said it in the last podcast that was like, it might not be a band that everyone's into, but they'll all have a soft spot for me. Was Blink-182. Like they had the Mark Tomlin Travis show or whatever fucking order it came in. But they had like, so they did like maybe a 19 song set, but it was you get the CD and it was 42 songs. And the last bit was like maybe minute long or 2 minutes of just shit talk that they were doing in between. And I actually used to listen to that more than I'd listen to the album, just because, again, going back to what we were saying earlier of a band just being like it humanizes it, that you're kind of listening to, being like, that's fucking retarded. But that's when you're like 14, 15, it's like, man, that's the same comedy I have. It still is, actually.
Like, Joe, I'm just looking at the Tin Lizzy Live and Dangerous. That was released in 1978.
Yep, sure was.
That's fucking ridiculous. Like,
And like, I think that was the kind of thing, like, you know, ultimate home run of Jailbreak 76 and then like Johnny the Fox and then that album, like, you know, it really, and like, what a great band Lizzy were. And like, that's probably one of the.
but 1978 is insane. You would have thought like it would have been later, but like 1978, like I was 7.
I watched a cool video of Cliff Burton's dad going through his record collection. Like,
Oh,
Unreal.
no
he had,
way.
like, all the Lizzy albums, and he had all the Gary Moore albums, including We Want Moore, the live one, which is killer as well. So
Fuck.
it's mad. Like, I'm talking like he had like 3 Iron Maiden albums, 20 Thin Lizzy albums, 20 Gary Moore albums. And the mad thing about it is, especially, you know, with Gary Moore and stuff, it stops in 1985. Like, you know, you're expecting to see, you know, Wild Frontier or whatever the album come out in 1987, and obviously he was gone, you know.
Do you know what was also a girl? I can't remember what it is, and I can't believe I'm even remember it. But friends of mine, we used to listen to it almost as a joke. But there was a live Kiss album. I can't remember what it is, but it's actually fucking class.
Well,
pure
they
like
had that. They were
drinking
one of those
tunes,
bands, like Kiss Alive 2.
Yeah. That was.
I've never understood. Like, I like Kiss, they're cool and stuff, but I've never really understood.
Do you know? I think it was just. It's like
about them.
Is there bands that actually cheat in relation to
100%.
live
Oh,
albums?
yeah.
100%.
Have they been cut out? Like,
Probably.
Like
I think
getting Milli Vanilli'd, where like people are like,
Milli
but like the
Vanilli's
Thin
lot of,
Lizzy
like,
one and the Judas Priest one are famous for being like all
produced.
the vocals re-recorded, all the guitars
Yeah.
re-recorded, and
yeah. That to be honest, man, I'd say that's actually more regular than not. Like I know bands that have live videos up on YouTube, and whatever happened with the desk or whatever, like maybe the guitar was completely re-recorded. Like, you know, I'm not gonna mention
I don't think
who,
there's
but
anything
it's like
particularly wrong with that though, man. Like it's
whatever,
it's not
man. At the end of the day, you're coming for an end product. Like,
yeah. And like
Is there a
there's some
Gamma
brilliant
Bomb,
ones.
Joe? out there.
Is there a Gamma Bomb Joe?
Is there a
He's
Gamma
here,
Bomb
like-
album out there that could be possibly?
A live album. We've got the best name for one ever, which we're
What?
already copyrighted, so don't use this. Is The Natives Are Getting Guest List.
Doubt it, that's fucking classic.
We're going to record that in your ear or whatever. Like, but we're going to take a piss and then we're going to talk about live video.
No, we're not. No, we're not. We're fucking off. I'm going away.
No, you're not at all. Fuck you, boy.
You're stuck with us forever.
Yeah, we have to find out who fucking replacing David Ellefson as well.
So yeah, there's some other brilliant releases as well that are live that are Irish. So let's not forget that. Ed, you've probably got one.
Oh, fucking Soothsayer live in Malta. Like,
Yeah, class.
I've heard like the lads were telling me a few stories about just the trip in Malta in general, and it's
Mayhem.
oh, absolute like the fucking even trying to get home, like fucking a band of legends anyway. But they, yeah, I think like I what I love about the Soothsayer thing is like that wasn't planned as a release at all. I'm pretty sure that it was just like at the very end of it, they were like, "Oh, or do you want us at the start? They were like, do you want us to record this or
You're
do
spot
whatever?"
on.
And the lads are like, "Yeah, whatever. Like, yeah, we'll do it." And it came out so fucking good. Like, I could imagine that when he was like, "Yeah, send it to us," or to get a USB. I can't remember what it was, but to come home and listen to what they got, it's like. Like,
Yeah.
my head would just be like, I'm unreal. If I sounded like Soothsayer, I would like, yeah. But like we get a live thing, and I'm like, oh, my band are class, but I'm. But yeah,
That's a nice shout out actually.
Yeah,
Danielle, have
absolutely,
you
man.
any Irish live ones?
Yeah, Panem, like Paranoid Pit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like Berserker. I think did they play Berserker for the first time then? I think I was there.
I think yeah,
And
yeah.
the intro for that song is my favorite intro of all time. And I remember just being like, holy fuck. This is incredible. And it's still one of my favorite songs of all time. But that was
One thing
incredible.
about Appenham,
Upon them.
I was up at their I was up in Blackpool practicing, and they were up there, so I called in for a bit. The boys have some saucy ones on the way. I went in and I Rick Rubin them as well for a second and left, but they're fucking.
Then sat on the sofa for a while. And then
I literally, yeah, I got a message off Kieran, the guitarist, as I came in. They were trying to figure an ending out for a tune that is fucking unreal, and I just threw out like an idea and then left. And then I got a message from Kieran when I got home, being like, "Man, you just came in and Rick Rubined the fuck out of us."
Brilliant.
I was like, unreal, yeah. But the stuff that they have, and like one thing I will say about them as well, because like I was practicing learning songs for something, but I was up my own. I'd come up, take a break, and I just sit there with free carling that we ended up getting from a taxi driver. That's a whole different story. But
not a good one.
just
though.
kind of, oh well, it had nothing to do with me. It was Brian and the lads. Like I just fucking reaped the rewards. But one thing I will say is like the fair play to just their communication is absolutely excellent. Absolutely excellent. And I can see why that band is always just going to be good, because communicate, and I hope the lads are listening, the fucking communication they have is so good. No one's like, what do you mean? I was like, no, it's just like, yeah, cool, we'll try that. Yeah. Fucking unreal. And
Any Irish bands, Joe, that come to mind? Live
But
recorded?
as in like new ones, like apart from like the old ones, like obviously we talked about Thin Lizzy, Gary Moore, Roy Gallagher, all killer ones. The Primordial one from Sweden Rock was pretty good there that they did whatever 8 or 9 years ago. But it for me it kind of seems like the reason why like we as a band have never done one is just like
your shit live. Sorry.
like you need to be like you want to do it at the end of a big tour kind of thing, like as in whenever you're totally on fire, because
Yes.
same as you were saying, Evan, it's like we've done the recorded shows before where we're just like, oh fuck, that's like
Would you like?
You know?
Would you definitely be like, say, if you had a tour, you're like, okay, well, on the 9th or 10th date, that's the one we're recording? Or would you do what Slipknot did, and it's like, well, let's work. Well, if you have the possibility, like if you have a X32 like desk to record everything, would you be like, okay, so this song is the best from this song is the best from this? And that's one of the reasons that I was like, with the Slipknot one, it's like it's from everywhere rather than it just be like this is a full set.
I like that kind of thing. Like we discussed doing it on the UK tour and stuff, but like we're thinking two best gigs would be like Damnation Fest and London Underworld and Belfast and Dublin. But the problem is,
do you have your own engineer, Joe? Do you have a traveling engineer with you?
We have a guy who comes with us and stuff.
Yeah, it'd be a lot easier for you to do then in that case. Like if there's a consistency level, maybe.
Our guitar player Damo's pretty au fait, so recording all the stuff isn't the issue. It's just more being good enough, and like that's the great thing about like having James do it is like, you know, being in that Brian Downey position where you know you don't need to worry about the drums. The drums are going to sound kick ass, so it's more just everyone else's performance. And like we were talking about it, saying, you know, we do the set, you know, at sound check every day and do the show. It's like 14 shows. I don't know even if that's enough to be able to get good coverage. Like you might only get one good version without any fuck ups of one song. So because it's really hard. And you know, there's a kind of playing slow is very, very difficult because everything's on show, but playing fast is also difficult because everything sounds like a racket unless it's kind of well produced or well played. So
good point, actually.
Very much so.
Like we would definitely like to do one, and we have copyrighted that album title, so
that's actually fucking unreal. Like,
okay, that's it. Thanks everybody. Thank you, Evan. Thank you, Danielle. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you
for the forums. Support live Irish metal when it does come back. We were gutted, as I said, that myself and Evan anyway. We were going to Metal to the Masses final in Belfast. That has been cancelled, so please God, they will get that on track before the end of July. And
we're still going to Belfast, though.
We are still going to Belfast, and you can meet us in the Voodoo Lounge.
Yeah, we're doing signings.
Voodoo Bar.
Or if you want, come in and kick my head because I didn't like your song. That's fine too.
Yeah. Okay. So that's it. Thanks, lads.